should talk with a deeper voice. Hey. Listen, I'll see you guys in a month, huh? Oh, the sacrifices I make for you. All right, Anne Louise, your prize is coming. Hey.
Well, to some, he will forever be the Fonz. But some younger generations may remember him best for scene-stealing roles in Scream, The Waterboy, Arrested Development, and Parks and Rec. Or, most recently, the Emmy Award-winning role of Gene Cousineau in the HBO hit Barry. But he will always be Henry.
Henry Winkler, he is, and now Henry Winkler is joining us here live in studio, talking about his life story from the Fonz and beyond, a new memoir, as Holly mentioned, Being Henry. And tonight, fans have the chance to get up close and personal with the former Happy Days star when his book tour stops at 6th and I. The event is sold out, but we are happy to have you with us this morning.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to be here.
Well, I was like, originally I said, oh my gosh, I totally missed my opportunity to wear a black leather jacket. And producer Chris came to the rescue and said he brought his in.
I just haven't had one on standby.
And can I just say, you look great.
Oh, well, I don't think I can wear it like you. The original one in the Smithsonian here in D.C., which is amazing. I do ask you, you know, after you left being the Fonz, could you ever wear a black leather jacket again?
You know, I didn't wear one in my real life, but I was so proud that I got to wear one for 10 years and then presented in 1980 to the Museum of America when I was told I would never achieve.
Wow.
It's you know, it's the typical story when you have such an iconic role, right? And you said, that wasn't me in the role. Most of America, most of the world is just like, that must be Henry Winkler in that role.
Right.
Go back to the beginning, because you talk about this in the book, right? And you go to that audition, you're coming out of Yale drama.
Right.
And then you end up in this iconic role, but complete opposite from what you would think coming out of Yale drama, right?
But I mean, that is what you're trained when you go to drama school. You're trained to do it all. Because every character, if it's well written, is in you. It's inside you. That's why Shakespeare has been around for 500 years. So all I did was I thought about all the teachers I had, what it would be like for me to be a teacher. That's Barry. And then what it would be like to be actually in charge of myself, and that's the Fonz.
You know, it's the age-old story of you have this iconic character and then you're stereotyped as that, right? And so it's that fine line, is it a blessing, is it a curse?
It's a blessing.
It is a blessing.
It's a
Did
blessing.
it take time to get to that point?
No. I always knew it was a blessing. I always had fun. What was difficult was that for about 9 years afterwards, it was hard to be hired because he's such a good guy. He is so funny. He's so good, but he was the Fonz. Yeah. So that's when I became a producer.
So the book is called Being Henry.
Yes.
Was there any one of these roles that was close to Henry? Any of these roles that are really close to the real
They're
Henry
all
Winkler?
close to me. And then you add on the condition of what the writer says about you, what the director wants, what the other characters say about you or to you. But you start with who you are, always, so that it is at least authentic at the beginning.
You know, you were such a family, and that family was such a part of everybody else's family.
Yes.
As we were all growing up. I know you just recently turned 78 years old. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
78 looks amazing.
Yes.
But I also saw a birthday wish from Ron Howard to you,
Yes.
which was just so genuine and actually made that day for me happy to know that you guys still correspond.
Oh, my goodness. About 4 weeks ago, I knew Ron and Cheryl as a couple before they got married. We are the godparents of his children. His daughter, our goddaughter, was at NYU when I was on Broadway with John Ritter. I took her to lunch. She said, there's a guy in my class. I don't know how to get him to pay attention. I said, just be you. You're so beautiful. She married him. He's at our table. 50 years of history at our dinner table. It was palpable.
It's add matchmaker to the
Right,
resume,
exactly.
right? Okay, so listen, since we're having a little fun with it, and I know we'll get into the seriousness of the book too and your life story. If you get together with Ron Howard or anybody
Yes.
else, do you ever go back to those characters?
No.
Do you ever do lines or anything, or that
No,
was a chapter
I will tell
in
you,
the past?
at the dinner table, So the end of Ron's contract, he left. He called me on the payphone on stage 19 next to the donuts. They said, Henry, there's a phone call. I go and he said, look, it's going to be in the press in about 10 minutes. I want you to know first I'm not coming back. I was silent. I thought my life was over. He is a great acting partner. He literally is the yin to the Fonz's yang.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not coming back. I was quiet for a long time, and then I said, Ron, you've got to go for it. This is your dream. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
I know you're going to be great at it. Go with God. At my dinner table, 50 years later, he said, you know, when you finally said you're going to be great, go, I really needed that, and I knew I made the right decision. I said, it took you 50 years to tell me that? You could have let me know then.
You know, I'll tell you a time when I left my dad silent because of you. It was the year that I said, Dad, I want to be Pinky Tuscadero for Halloween. He said, yeah, no.
No. But can I just say this, and I mean in the nicest way, you would rather have been leather.
Oh, there you go.
You trust me.
Yeah, there you go. I know both of them, right?
You're going to be telling some great stories to go along with the book. I know it. And I know in the book, and it happens when people put out books, right? You become vulnerable.
Yeah.
You tell stories about yourself that maybe would not come out otherwise. What are some of the, I guess, things that you've learned about yourself through the process that maybe you can pass on either through the words in the book or on stage?
What I realized, and I will say this again tonight, but what I realized was that I was being who I thought I should be for too long a period. And through my experience, my life, and this incredible talking doctor that I see for the last 8 years, I am becoming who I am. And I did not realize that that's what I had written, but that's what, that was the umbrella of the book.
I want to make sure that we get this in as our time is unfortunately fleeting.
Is that true?
This isn't your first...
We're not just going to go and go and go?
I know. He said we should, producer. Listen.
Sorry, producer Chris.
Yeah. This is not the first book you've written.
No, I have written 39 children's novels. The latest one came out 16 days ago called Detective Duck.
And what's important about it, though, is it deals with your own struggle with dyslexia. These books are for kids with dyslexia.
Right.
You recording the audible for this book
The
made
most
you
difficult
face,
job in my life. You know, most people read a book on Audible, they read it in 2 days. I was allotted 100 hours because that is how dyslexic I am and what a poor reader I am.
So can I ask how you pulled off the scripts in the early years especially?
I wanted to. I worked harder. I underlined. I read it very slowly in the beginning, word by word. And eventually, also, I was able to retain it more easily than I could read it.
But the important thing is you did it, which is an example for other kids and for the books that you have written. It's not about not being able to do it. It's just you do it differently.
You do it differently.
Yeah.
What I have said to every child, every day that I meet a child, how difficult school is has nothing to do with how powerful and brilliant you are.
Before we wrap things up, and as we do so, we're seeing all these great pictures behind us of you with all these other fantastic actors and other people. Well, you already know all of them.
Oh, I do?
We're seeing all of them.
Oh, my puppies!
And the puppies.
Okay, so the brown puppy is Sadie, and I think she was in a soccer team in another life. And now her sister is a golden doodle, and this is when she plays ball, you throw the ball, and she
just sits there and watches and waits for the other one.
And then looks at you and goes, you want me to go get it?
Real quick, is there one actor out there that you haven't worked with yet that you would just absolutely love to do
Robert De
something
Niro.
with?
Oh, okay.
Robert
Let's
De
speak it
Niro.
into existence. Come on.
I just think he would be great. Meryl Streep, Ryan, a lot of people.
Well, they would all be lucky to get to work with you.
Thank you.
That's what I say.
Thank
so,
you.
can you give us one A before you go?
All right, let me just tell you something. It was a pleasure to be with you, and this chick is A.
And I'm done here. My life is complete. I need to do no more interviews. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. 6 to 9 tonight to check it out if you can still get tickets. Hot ticket, no doubt about it. We'll see you soon.